are live. Welcome to the Check-In Show. It's episode 27 with Don Xanklin, Claudio Capri, and myself, Paul Ash. Mike Gamache can't be with us this morning. Hello. I'm just going to pop you up there so I can be in the bottom of this pyramid scheme. Welcome, Don. Welcome, Claudio. For those tuning in or just watching in the repeat, this is just the three friends kind of hanging out and checking in with each other, something we started doing over the pandemic and lockdown, and when we were very concerned about each other's health and well-being.
Yeah.
Welcome, Dawn. You're muted. Oh, you're not muted now. Good. Don't worry about background noise. This is all nice and casual. Though I have morning DJ voice happening. Maybe it's a late night DJ voice. Just time to get into the groove. Is my voice sounding good to you guys or creepy?
Oh, no, it was good. Like I was just like time zone specific. You know, people can listen to the voice style that they prefer and interpret accordingly.
and then you know, as Mike, as Paul is talking, you hear the. And then we're walking down the street, and that is some good. Water. That is some good water.
Good water. This very good water.
Yeah. A whole ASMR of my god, but wouldn't that be a good idea late night with Paul?
I watched.
Yeah. For an hour to go. And today I was walking down the street and I saw this cat and was looking at me, and my oh my, why is this?
It was up to no good.
So last night Paul Ash hosted the Comedy Nest. Paul, you had that look of
cool.
What did I do last night? Oh yeah. Yeah.
Just I thought you were gonna say I did something bad, but no, that was fun. Pictures are up on my Instagram.
Yes.
My Instagram
Cool.
Is available. Well, I guess if you follow the link tree, you can find Paul Ash Comedy Instagram. It'll be there. So you get to see. There's a good action shot of Claudio. I think he was. I think it was a plane landing. Is that what you were doing?
Okay, so funny story about that moment. Like I almost fell on stage, so I had to catch myself. That's why if you go on Paul Ash's Instagram, you're gonna see my picture. I did a pose, and I didn't want to fall, so I'm like, so I was so yeah. So I had my balance.
I saw that one.
Yeah.
I was admiring your act out. I didn't know. I would never have known that was like an accident.
And then when I went to go see Paul. Like my arm was cracking, so that's why I'm like, no, I can't. Damn, 31 years old. But no, last night was interesting. But there's this one new person who at the end of the show, as I was heading home, there's this guy comes up to me and goes, yeah, no, so it's my second time doing stand up. I'm like, oh, cool, okay. And then I told him like which open mics to check, and he goes, oh. That means I have to be friends with them too, and I'm like, okay.
Was that Stevie?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
And then at the end, he we're all because I went home with AC Valiente because so he's a comic who hasn't done comedy for a year, and he's been through rough stuff like I have, minus the diabetes.
His mother passed in the past year, so
yeah, it was shocking. So then Alex AC, well, his name is Alex. AC is a stage name. So Alex and I we're heading home, and Stevie turns to us and goes, guys, I don't trust Italians. And then Alex tries to have a quick comeback, right? He goes, it's okay, I don't trust them too. And then the guy goes, good, and then he just walks off, and we're like.
Part of his act was about the fact that he wanted to be an Italian.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it might have been he was just doing a humorous quip because you guys are so very Italian.
Yeah.
Both you and AC.
Yeah.
And both of you mentioned you're Italian in your sets. So I think he was trying to be funny, and it just sort of.
Yeah, exactly. Because he came up to me after, goes, oh man, I liked your, I liked your joke. I liked your jokes. It was really good. You had good energy, but two of my jokes I still need to work on them. But then after that, the end of the show goes, I don't trust Italians. And then Alex and I were like, all right, well, If that's how you feel.
What do you do with that?
Yeah,
You know?
it's like me coming up to people. I know I don't
I don't like black people. You know, like
yeah. What do you do in that situation? I'm like,
oh,
I'm like, okay. Well, actually, that did happen to a fellow comedian as well. Someone goes, I don't like. He literally said, he didn't say it on stage, but he literally says, I don't like black people. And my friend's like, and I'm looking at him, I'm like,
if someone said that to me, I'd be like, some of my best friends are black.
no, actually,
Some of my
Don,
best family members.
Yeah, exactly.
plot twist. You just say, well, some of my best friends are white. and then make that person feel like an a-hole.
I think they at that point, as soon as they start saying they don't like a certain people based on their ethnicity, they're already an a-hole. So
yeah, absolutely. And then
it's like the biggest hell.
Yeah, and then Stevie doesn't like using Facebook, and then even Joya Flom saying so if you have to get booked, how do you check your messages? And the guy goes, well, I'll go on Facebook once in a while. But Joy's like, okay, it's cool that you don't use social media, like good, but you have, this is where you need social media.
So it's an industry that is
social media is your friend.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I'm like that. So I'm like, okay, so how do we how do you want us to put on your open mic?
He's under his 100 shows yet, Claudio. So he's still a tourist.
Oh yeah, he is. But there were just some things. He goes, oh, I don't use social media. I think it's stupid. But I'm like, but you're in the wrong place if you don't want to use social media.
Yeah, it seems a little unusual.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm rubbing my eyes. I've been up for a good while now. But,
oh no!
Still,
why? Work?
I don't sleep after shows well, so I really have trouble going to sleep. But I had to get up early this morning to go for a COVID test because I'm getting a wardrobe fitting on Friday. And the only time they could fit me in was early this morning.
Oh no!
You see, it's not that bad. For me, like, I love getting up early, but then when I'm at work or whether I'm on film set or just work, I'm like, why can't I just work at night? But then after as the day goes by, I'm like, oh, thank God I don't work at night. It's
because you have your nights free to go to watch shows or perform in shows.
Yeah, exactly. But once in a while, I'll have flexible hours. I'll be like, all right, I'll work nights when I can, but I'm like, during the day, I'm like, my friend's like, oh, we're going. I'm like, oh, you
I remember when I was in my my early 20s, a lot of my friends worked the 9-to-5 type jobs, but I was working in hospitality, and sometimes retail, and a lot of what I did was evening shifts. So it really cuts down on how sociable you can be with your friends, and also you get into like when I was working graveyard shift, that's an entirely different thing. You're basically living in a different time zone than the other people who are around you.
Yeah.
So like when people are getting up and going into work and having that kind of drudgery, I'm in a happy mood because I'm getting off work. And it's a different vibe altogether, and it does kind of make it harder to connect with people.
Yeah. Exactly, but oh no, sorry, Don, you were gonna say something.
No. I was just thinking about like if you're working the graveyard shift and you're waking up, you're trying to sleep when packages are being delivered. The rest of the pace of most of the world is different than yours.
Yeah, well, I mean, back at that time, we weren't as dependent on Amazon because didn't exist. Like when we're talking about when I was younger, but one of the main things was that I'd usually after work I'd stay up for a little while and then go to sleep and then get up in time to get ready and go to work for 11 p.m. So I wasn't watching all the sitcoms everybody was watching. There was no DVR at that time.
Yeah.
It kind of like I was less connected. And when I was starting doing comedy at that point, I had to get up, go to the shows, and then leave the show early to make it to work on time, so I didn't get that like social aspect after the shows, the hangouts and all that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
And
No.
yeah, it makes people think that you're a little bit weird too if you're in
Yeah.
that wake up mode, and then when everybody else is sort of in the wind down mode, there's a psychology thing to it.
Oh,
Hi
absolutely.
everybody, hello watchers. We're just three friends shooting the breeze. Mike Gamache can't make it today, but he will be joining us again next week. But welcome.
Yes. Welcome everybody. But
I
no.
I have that morning voice happening right now, don't I?
I want that morning voice. How do I get that morning voice?
I recommend gin.
Gin. Woo! I almost finished my amaretto. I've discovered amaretto in coffee as an aperitif in the
That's
evening.
yeah. In the
so
evening,
good.
I used to put that in. Well, I mean, before I was diabetic, obviously, I used to put that in the morning. So I put so, but then I had 3 cups, and I forgot how much percentage of alcohol amaretto had. So I showed up to work, but
Oh no.
and then they didn't smell the coffee breath. They smelled the amaretto, and I'm like, because again, it took me a while. I'm like, why do I smell like? Why is there?
Booze.
Yeah, and
You
what?
can tell them it's almond essence because I've discovered that putting almond essence in my coffee for flavoring, because I like the smell more than the taste. It kind of it's similar.
Yeah, exactly. But then I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, the amaretto, because I thought the coffee was strong enough to the scent would dilute
Cover
the
it.
amaretto, and I'm like, nope, still strong in alcohol. Yep. Oh man, but all good old days. Now I just have to put have a bit of milk with coffee, like this
Yeah.
much coffee. I'm like,
Oh
There,
no.
there is. I just trying to do a quick Google search. I saw an ad for a Quebec product that is a maple amaretto.
oh yeah, I heard about that. It's at the SAQ here, like here in Quebec.
Maple amaretto. I'm writing this down because one of the things I started doing to my coffee was putting maple syrup in it because I thought I can't remember why. I think we were out of
Because it's a
plain
natural sugar
sugar.
rather than a refined
Yeah,
sugar.
maybe, but I put it in there, and I just love the subtle sweetness of it rather than the hit you in the face granulated sugar.
Jesus Christ, how much sugar is it? Wait, hold on, Don. Do you add sugar after that?
Oh, you don't? Well, I guess you can't. No, because
No, I used to.
but
Wait,
basically,
hold on. Sorry. So you add maple syrup and
no. They say
Okay.
maple syrup or sugar.
Oh, thank God. Thank God. I'm like, yo, how are you? Like, Jesus Christ. Because
This is
AC
like
Valiente used to do that too. He goes,
really
because
like
yeah,
double the sugar.
because we went to a chalet 2 years ago. Yes, 3 years
Yeah.
ago was summer pre-COVID. So I'm just having coffee with milk. Everyone's doing the same thing, and I see AC taking like a big thing of maple syrup and he just puts it in there. And at the same
Oh.
time, he puts sugar. And I'm like, hey Alex, you don't have enough maple syrup in there. He tastes it. He goes, you're right. And he just keeps putting it. No, what are you doing?
Oh no! I just put a little bit of maple syrup in there, and it's just like you don't need very much, but the flavor just sort of carries.
Yeah.
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 Now I want coffee.
It's I actually I posted this on Twitter a while ago.
Yes.
Because I'm a big tea drinker. So you know, and there's a either of you had a London fog?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
those are delicious.
So
those are
it's
the
an
ones I
Earl
recommend.
Grey tea with steamed milk and like a dash of just a drop of vanilla, because vanilla is so powerful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to put more than a drop in. So I've come up with my own recipe, which I call the London Ontario fog. So I use Earl Grey tea. I don't steam the milk, but I'll make it sort of like a tea au lait, like a lot of milk in it, and then I'll use maple syrup for the sweetening, because a London fog you're supposed to put a bit of sugar into, because vanilla is not extract isn't sweet, and then you add despair, and that kind of makes it London Ontario fog.
Now I recognize it. Yes, I used to
I
live
don't-
in London like years ago. Oh, never again.
That is.
I-
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh no, you.
It is. It was at one time the most racist city in Canada officially.
Yeah.
Really?
Like, it was recognized as that the Ku Klux Klan had an office.
What?
Holy shit! Why doesn't
What?
that surprise
No
me?
way. In London, Ontario?
Yeah, in London,
Yeah.
Ontario.
No.
It was when MMA was just kind of starting as well, and so there was a
Oh,
there was a
yes.
lot of these big, overly steroided,
Oh,
you know,
well, residents.
shaved head
Yeah.
muscle heads. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Oh my God. No,
so
that's I was there for 2 years, and the most traumatic experience, especially like when you're like a preteen living in a racist city and you're a black person. Yeah, not a good life experience.
No.
yeah.
Well, I heard now things are slightly better. Unless that's
Uh,
BS.
I
There
don't
was a
know.
guy who was arrested for a hate crime and terrorism just recently because he
The car?
saw an Islamic
Yeah.
family, and he
Yeah, ran them over.
with a truck. Yeah,
Christ.
Yeah.
so he's charged with murder as well as hate
Good.
crimes, terrorism.
Good.
Yeah. Well, hopefully
good.
it'll follow through and stick by the time he's finished the judicial process. Yeah.
Good. No, that's I don't know how people I don't want to get into that because
That's a whole other, yeah. That's
yeah,
a whole other rabbit hole, London, Ontario.
yes, exactly. I was just gonna mention that, and yeah, no. So
There are some mighty fine people in London as well, but
yeah, exactly.
That's
You know, it's a crappy place when they say, yeah, there's some mighty fine people, but like, oh crap, the buts. Here we go.
I'm
don't
not
get
saying that there's
lost
good
there.
people on both sides. Yeah, no, I mean,
Yeah.
I did comedy there. I had a fairly good time.
Sorry, the house is shaking. There's construction. Did you hear that?
Yeah, it was kind of cool actually.
I was scared. I'm like, yo, do we have another earthquake again? No.
You're still muted. We couldn't quite hear what you
Oh,
just said.
sorry. It feels like it. Yeah, I'll just mute myself until this part is over. It's almost
Oh,
done.
no, leave it
Yeah.
open. We're not hearing it so bad.
Okay, cool.
That was also, there's a video online. Wow, I have been bad with names recently.
Oh, that's okay.
Darren Frost. Darren Frost got assaulted on stage in London, Ontario.
I heard.
Whoa.
The video is online. There's a guy that interrupted the show, and so Darren gave him a soft out, and then the guy continued to heckle. So Darren mentioned the guy's mother, without Darren knowing that the guy's mother died the week before.
Oh, shit.
And so the guy took a glass tumbler, like a big one with a heavy bottom, and biffed it, and it hit him directly in the chest, and
Oh my
left
God,
the
is he
pictures
okay?
afterwards showed the big bruise that was on his chest. Yeah.
Wow. I've never heard of the comic being physically assaulted.
Oh, there's plenty of
show.
videos online. I think Jim Jeffries got punched in the face.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, Jim
That's
Jeffrey.
that video's online. That was at a comedy club in London.
Yeah.
And it was a response. The thing is, the person who did it is like he was.
Sorry, the earthquake.
No, it's okay. It's all right. We it's not overpowering to us. And we all have our headphones in, so we're not cutting off each other's mic if we hear any noise coming through yours.
Exactly.
Cool.
So yeah, Jim Jeffries said something along the lines to a female heckler. Listen, I'm not going to pay attention to you just like your father, and unfortunately like your grandfather didn't.
Oh!
And so the gentleman who was with her, they were up in the balcony,
Uh-huh.
took the time to walk to the stairwell, down the stairwell, through the crowd, and then came up on the stage. Jim has completely moved on.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden there's this guy standing up beside him. And Jim looks at him, and then a guy hauls back and punches him. And punches him a couple times before security got there.
How can security just let this guy just wander onto the stage?
Because the thing is, the guy wasn't running. He wasn't looking like he
Oh,
was.
he looked crazy.
He just looked like a guy who got up during the show, maybe going to the bathroom or going back to his seat or whatever.
Yeah.
And he walked through the seats right to the edge of the stage, got up, and then boom.
Wow.
There was an event actually at another comedian get punched. Jerry Sedowitz,
Yeah.
a Scottish comedian, got
Yeah.
punched at Just for Laughs years ago.
I heard of that story.
Yeah.
What an embarrassing story, huh?
Yeah, we go to Just for Laughs and decide to like Jerry Sadowitz is a shock comedian.
Oh,
And
okay.
so in his opening, 30 seconds, 1 minute, he said that something about Quebec being a nice place. If it wasn't for all the French, why have you still let them be here? Kind of thing.
Oh,
And
Oh,
of
that's
course,
not
there's
shocking.
there's
That's-
francophones. I mean, they're bilingual in the audience, but they're
Yeah.
French first who took offense to that, and one guy just kind of got up and punched him in the face.
Wow, wow.
But
You see,
but Sadowitz, if I remember correctly, had said that it's not the first time he's been punched for comedy.
well, in a way,
he's a Jewish Scottish comic, so he's kind of and he's a shock comic, so he's kind of used.
maybe
to
I shouldn't. I guess I shouldn't complain when people in this scene used to call me. Someone called me one of Ottawa's nicest comedians, so maybe I'll just keep that for a while longer.
no, Don, no. You want to be known as the ruthless, nice person.
The ruthless. I think that maybe now I'm one who doesn't socialize very much afterwards. So I'm sure that's probably happened.
So distance makes the heart grows fonder. Is that it?
Or
if they don't
yeah.
know if they don't know how biting you really are, or how sarcastic you are, or how much you truly hate them, then they're gonna assume you're nice.
Oh, exactly. And I think maybe like now it's like Dawn, the snobbiest comedian. She's too good to be here.
Yeah. You know what, Don? No, I'm kidding. But no, it's it's really. But no, the first one that happened, you'd wonder. I'm like, okay, so when you made fun of the person's deceased mother, I'm like, so who really deserved it? In a way.
The person who wouldn't shut up after given a chance to shut up while heckling deserved anything that gets said to them.
Okay, but then
Right?
okay.
I mean, it like Darren was up there not doing hate speech.
Exactly.
I mean, he is an abrasive comic.
Yeah, he swears, but he's not. He
Well,
wouldn't.
Yeah, he deals with uncomfortable topics, and but he's done it very well.
Yeah.
And,
But when sorry, go ahead.
go ahead, Don.
Oh, no, I was just going to say that I think when you go into a comedy show, there is an agreement that you implicitly make just by being in the audience, especially if you're sitting close to the stage in the front row.
They weren't sitting close to the stage. They were back a ways, and they were disturbing. And actually, other people in the audience, the other people in the audience had already turned on them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they're fair
Right.
game for sure.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, it's like Darren. I mean, not exactly polite, but he did kind of give them a shut up moment.
Yeah.
First, I think he did his line. He says, "Listen, I'm not a monkey up here to dance for your amusement. I'm doing a routine that's practiced, kind of very whatever." And so the guys who were drunk just shouted out, "Yeah, dance, monkey, dance."
Yeah. No, but there's a social contract, even like regardless of where you're sitting in the audience, but you're there. You're not supposed to interrupt, and if you do interrupt, there's a cost. So
I agree with. Sorry, I agree with you
that's
both.
okay. Yeah.
Like, but like I've witnessed this plenty of times. Whether it's at an open mic or some pro shows, you always get these people who don't understand these rules. Who, sorry, that noise got me off a little bit. It's like who don't understand these rules, and at the same time, they think that they're comedians themselves. But there was one comedian who handled it very well. Right, he was not violent.
Oh, thank you, Claudio.
Yeah, no problem. He just looked at these people who were causing the scene, and he was saying, "Listen, if you think you're funny, just let me know, and I'll put you on in a couple of weeks, and everyone here could come back and see if you've got the balls to be funny or not." And people were cheering. And then the guy was like, "Oh no, I don't think." And then politely, he looked at the person and goes, "So I think you know what you should do." The guy goes, "Yeah, I should shut the F up. Thank you."
And
then
he
the person,
cooperated?
and he cooperated. But then they were like this, like last Saturday for Offbeat. When was it? Yeah, no, the end of July. Gabriel Omancy handled the heckler very well, and then the heckler just walks away. Or yeah, it was the world's smallest on Monday. There was a drunk person who kept like at first he kept going reactions of oh and then clapping and oh shit or that's not funny, but then he was getting drunk and the people who organized the world's smallest mic, they were having enough of him because he was being annoying, and then he was even being a little bit creepy to the women. And then I'm like, I hope I don't go up when this guy's still there. So luckily they kicked him out, and I'm like, thank God. So I just don't understand the beauty of non-comedians going to a comedy show and heckling.
Well, the thing is, there's so much focus on heckling and hecklers that some people get the erroneous idea that heckling is part of a show.
No.
Right? And there's so many people who post the videos of them talking to the hecklers or dealing with the hecklers. They think, a lot of hecklers actually think they're helping, and you have to sort of let them know that they're not. I have an audio of a set I did where it was a full club, about 200 people, and there was a biker convention in town that week. So there was about 15 seats, like two large tables of bikers who were there. And the MC was sort of afraid to engage them. So they were talking through everyone's act, etc. They were not near the front, but they were loud, and they were talking at the stage on occasion. So I was the feature act, so not the headliner. I'm in there doing my 20 minutes, but so at the time I had the long hair, so I would refer to myself as the Muppet on stage, and so I was doing jokes back and forth, and they were talking back at me. And so again, rules with hecklers: always give them a polite one to begin with, just to kind of let them know they're not welcome. I think I joked about to the audience members that if you see Muppet stuffing in the parking lot out back afterwards, please call the police. It's not part of the show. There's, I then kind of like let them know that it's really not welcome in the show, and that they're kind of being rude. And then what I did was I said, look, guys, I'm glad that you're here and you're having fun, but you're about 15 people. There's 185 other people here who pay tickets that want to watch the show. So how about you people? Why don't you just tell them to shut up? And the audience went, shut the fuck up, to this group of bikers.
That's terrifying.
And two voices came from the bikers table, went, no. And my response to that was like, it says, look, guys, I don't care how big the bike you guys drive. I'm pretty sure there's some people in this audience who drive trucks. And that got applause. They settled down. They were quiet. I finished my set. I went to the back. Two of the bikers approached me, wanted to buy me drinks.
Oh, was there anything in the drinks?
Yeah, sure.
Alcohol.
Yeah, sure. That's how it starts.
Yeah, but no, they were happy. One of them apologized. Yeah, those, because they were apologizing on behalf of the two Mothier ones. They thought they were helping. Cool. They're a little bit of idiots. So.
Oh man, no, I would be shitting my pants. I'm like,
same.
No. I mean, I saw Sons of Anarchy. I understand how this goes. And Mayans MC. Sorry, we have to update now. So, just like The Sopranos. The Sopranos is gone. It's Many Saints of Newark. We have to keep up with the times.
Oh, I have to watch that. Is that out yet?
October 1st.
October 1st.
It's tattooed on the inside of Claudio's eyebrows.
I hope
eyelids. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's October 1st. I'm not doing shows October 1st. I just gotta watch it. Are you going to do a breakdown video of it, like right after?
That would be
Go
cool.
online,
Maybe.
talk about it. Get
yeah.
you, AC, Chris Vendito, just all of you just talking about the show and
Well, we can try. Yeah, we
eating
can
spaghetti or something. Just
we can try. I hope that
racist,
movie.
I'm sorry.
Nah, that's okay. I hope that movie's gonna be like 2.5 hours.
Oh,
There's
it's oh right, because it's a movie, but it's setting up a pilot, isn't it?
yeah, it's a prequel before the series, but there's a
No, but
lot. I'll go ahead.
aren't they planning on doing a prequel series? I thought is it just
They're
the movie?
planning. They're planning. They were in talks to do a prequel series as well,
Okay.
but this is going to be the film that sets up events
Cool.
for the prequel series. I'm like, okay, all right, this could work, and yeah, because there's a lot. Because even though this film is sort of fictional, but it's going to be based on true events. One of the characters meets Frankie Lewis. Well,
Who's Frank?
Frank
Who's Frank?
Lucas. He was Frank Lucas was obviously was a black man in his 60s. He was under the he was taught by his man named Godfather of Harlem.
Oh yeah.
him.
I saw a little clip
It's-
about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if Frank Lucas, that guy was Frank Lucas's mentor, so it was like
Oh.
a father figure. So then that wraps up with in the Sopranos because they do a deal together, and it's also during the Black movement of the '60s and
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 the Black Panthers.
yes,
Yeah.
but
Oh.
yeah, and then Tony Soprano, who is not called the Sopranos yet, he's with a family that deals with a lot of movements and a lot of let's say like transporting heroin during this time. So it's a really big story.
I thought you were going to remain vague on that and just sound like so much, like they did a lot of movements of,
They did a lot of movements,
transporting
stuff, But no, I hope
potty
no, but-
favors.
and then Ray Liotta. I'm surprised Ray Liotta is gonna be in this
Wow.
film too. I'm like, oh wow, Ray Liotta.
He's got a lot of gangster film cred, so
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, green. Yeah.
oh.
Yeah, but with the food thing, my husband has a recipe book that had every I don't know if it's every recipe, but lots of recipes from the series. So he was going through them
Nice.
and like trying to copy some of them. But yeah, so I'll take a picture of the cover. I can't remember what it's called. I'll send it offline.
Is it by
Sopranos cooking book? It just
yeah, or is it because if it's by Steve Sharippa, you got to ask yourself: is this real cookbook, or is this someone who thinks they could cook?
Oh, so it's a good question. I don't know who the author is for this one.
Okay.
Who's Steve Sharippa?
Oh, he played a character in The Sopranos, and now there's a theory that his character might have, even though he died. Spoiler alert, people! Like he died in season 6. It was his people that went to go kill Tony Soprano at the end, because there was a scene of him. He plays Bobby. He asks Tony. He goes, "Oh, so how does it feel getting shot?" And Tony Soprano answers it, and then Bobby replies with another question. He goes, "You must not see it coming a mile away, right?" And then the ending of The Sopranos is when Tony looks up and the screen goes black. So there's a theory that it might have been one of his Bobby's people who went to go kill Tony Soprano. Which, if James Gandolfini was alive today, they would have made they would continue the series. I'm like, that's sad. Especially with the construction going on in the background too. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, God.
I know. It's a full circle. And yeah, this construction was supposed to take 2 days, and that was a long time ago.
Like 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Something we don't see anymore. I think it was sort of bigger it happened in the 70s and a bit in the 80s and some in the 90s. But what they're doing with The Sopranos is they do a feature film, right? Because it pays for the props. Like even if the feature film, like it's done as a separate company, but they make all the props and everything and set up everything for a series. Like Battlestar Galactica, both series started out as films, and then the film was done, and then all the props and everything from that film is sold to another production company, which produces the series.
Yeah.
So it kind of works out in a development way. It's a way to sort of write off a lot of the expenses of making a feature, making a series, if you can have like a feature film introduction
Cool.
to
Yeah,
to
yeah,
the
that's
series.
yeah,
I always
that's
wondered about that.
yeah, no, that's a great way to get lured into a series as well. Like beginning with a film and you end with a film. Like for Battlestar, I have them somewhere. I have all the Battlestars in between films. Like I have the miniseries, and then I have a few of their films that they've done. I went direct to DVD. I'm like, because I'm a fan of Battlestar Galactica. I'm like, all right,
Yeah, that
Not
was
the
a good
original. You're the newer series.
yes,
Yeah, that's
exactly,
true.
And
exactly.
Caprica. You're
Ca-
too young. Yeah.
Caprica, yeah,
I liked
because
Caprica.
you know
I
what,
got into it a little bit. I didn't finish it.
I
Well,
enjoyed.
they didn't finish it. That's
Yeah,
Oh,
I enjoyed season one very much. The second season, because they got news that it was not going to be continued, it was a turn off for me. I'm like, all right, all right.
Mm.
But season one was really good.
yeah.
Oh, they had so much potential to continue that as a series. That, ugh.
Yeah, so
But now,
disappointing.
yeah, but now they're doing a Battlestar Galactica film.
Oh,
Yeah, rebooting it again.
prequel?
Yeah, rebooting it again. I'm like, yeah.
Oh, that's too soon.
Like, considering that the original was actually based off of the Bible, like the Old Testament, the Torah, with the Moses
tribe.
leading people, the tribes of
Yeah.
Israel, across the Red Sea and to Israel. And that's why they talk about the 13 tribes and it's the 13 colonies in the reboot. It's because it's meant to be a representation of the Jewish tribes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And on a side note, Bear McCready has done a phenomenal job on the soundtrack for the series for Battlestar.
Oh, he's in there too. He does the Outlander music. He's everywhere.
And then he's done Game of Thrones.
Masters of the Universe. I saw his name in
yes,
that credit.
yes, yeah, and he did the Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles, which was really really
Wow.
good. But the series was why. Anyways, that's if you have patience after
Yeah.
season two, because again, Fox used to have a lot of good shows, and then the problem with Fox is if they see a show going very well, they're like, all right, we're gonna cancel it. So like,
Yeah. What's with that?
Fox.
Just want to take this time to also mention
Yes.
Claudio Capri Comedy on Instagram to see more about Claudio and the shows he has coming up. Don is Don Xanklin Comedy on Instagram. So
And I'm taking a break.
you're taking a break?
Well, sort of. August has kind of wound down a little bit, so I'm spending more time writing and sort of catching my breath and trying to line up speaking gigs because I do that too. But yeah, it's just sort of like, I don't know, the lull before chaos of back to school starts.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I understand that. Oh my goodness. Tonight I'm doing the Love Doctor is going to be live on stage hosting
Cool.
a wonderful show, the Vaudeville Variety Show. Just some of the acts that are going to be on there. Orange Bureau will be there. Musician Alison Wonderland is going to be back in the city. She's performing. We've got Monica Hamburg also doing comedian, also doing comedy. And Shane Grin is a musician who I haven't had the pleasure to work with in a while, but phenomenal musician. He's also appearing on the Vaudeville show. But the backbone of Vaudeville has always been burlesque. And so we have Winona J. Fox and Wild Delilah. Both of them are doing solo burlesque routines, and that's going to be a lot of fun tonight.
Nice. I have to come back and check one of those shows.
Yep. This is the third week that we've been open doing this, and we've been sold out every week. So
Nice.
which it's so glad that everyone's there. I mean, there's less seating available because we are working within COVID restrictions. But it is it's a huge treat, and it's
Yes.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, I haven't seen live burlesque shows returning to Ottawa yet, so hopefully that'll be soon.
Oh, I thought some had. I thought I had seen some, like
Oh,
Randy
unless I missed.
Rouge has posted some
Oh,
stuff.
I need to go double check then because it's not showing up in my feed.
Yeah,
But that's a
it's
fun
the
Facebook quirk.
yeah. This sorry, Facebook and Instagram both have a tendency to uh, sort of shadow ban stuff that is that they deem as sexually related.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Instagram, there is a setting that you can go do to make sure that you can see it. There's been a number of posts online with a step-by-step instructions because it's I understand in protecting kids, but kids should not be able to see that stuff anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But the fact that they're blocking it from adults and potential audience members is
yeah,
just
it's presumptuous. Yeah.
Yeah.
mhm.
Exactly. Exactly. It's yeah. It's well, I mean, in a way, I mean, before we leave, I'm just saying, like, I have like I'm a bit iffy about that because, especially today, children, like, they're involved in video game. They watch video games, well, play video games. Sorry, and they see violent stuff on television, and with things like Call of Duty and everything. But then if if they go on Facebook and you see these burlesque things, no, that's a big no. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
well,
Mm.
Well, I
I
mean, there's supposed to be rating systems that prevent kids under 13 from doing these hyper violent games, but a lot of these kids aren't doing it. I mean, Steam, you're supposed to put in your birth date.
yeah,
Yeah, but there's kids putting in like their parents' birth
Older
date
dates.
or
Yeah.
whatever.
yeah, exactly.
Like they work it out. It's just and then people putting false birth dates on Facebook so they have access to more stuff.
Hmm.
Um, it comes down to like, all right, I hate to say this, parental supervision. Parental supervision. I'm not saying this to attack, but the thing is, you know what? If you're a parent, you can let your kids watch whatever you want them to
Yeah,
let
that's
them
true.
watch, but get take the time to kind of explain the morals of the situation or explain what is right. I mean, when you see in these video games or movies where people just shrug off being shot,
Hmm.
you know, guns are not something you shrug off, right?
Exactly. We've taken the opportunity with we have a 10-year-old, and we've taken the opportunity to have lots of interesting conversations. But I also remember being on a different floor of the house, so he wasn't aware that I was lurking or anything. And he corrected, a buddy he was playing with on some misogynist language. He was just like, "No, we don't use that language." And then he explained in his 10-year-old way why, and I was just like, "Oh my God, it sunk in." So it's just kind of like a double-edged sword. Like there's the scary part. So it's just like, oh wait, he's not supposed to know that yet, I thought.
Yeah.
But he's also sort of course correcting too, which is nice to see.
There was actually an article that was done by journalism students and then ended up being picked up by the Globe and Mail, where they did an investigation to the online recruiting and training tactics of of incels, of right wing and white nationalists.
Hmm.
And one of the things they do is they will put out these little innocuous jokes that are just a little step forward, right? And then other things. And so you hear a lot of kids who don't fully understand making fun of the word triggering,
Mm,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And that means, and if they say something, they can dismiss somebody. Oh, you're just so too easily triggered, without understanding what that really is about.
Hmm.
And it sets up a confrontation, which the kids will feel a backlash against, and going, well, that person's just a dumb whatever epithet thrown
Hmm.
in, and it moves them closer to the right wing, the white nationalists, the incel movements
Yeah.
way of thinking, because people are not taking the time to engage them in intelligent ways and to show them. And this is the mentorship of being in a society, is that we need to take that time, especially with our young people,
Hmm.
to show them how to be kind, because
Yeah.
Exactly.
a lot of media doesn't do that.
Right.
Anyway,
No,
Right.
everyone,
no.
if you have
Oh,
any
no.
comments, just drop them in.
No, no, for sure. No, you brought up the word media. I'm like, look, I don't want to get into that, but you know, media is good for certain things, but apart from that,
It's our job.
yeah, yeah, it's our job. But at the same time, if you want to look at,
Keep talking, Claudio. The fact
okay,
that you pause is what draws attention to it.
okay, sorry. So so at the same time, media is a bad influence because it could be something. It could something beautiful at the same time, something really bad. Like bad, like if you have an opinion, but and then you have those people. Well, I don't agree with you, and then they start doing name calling and stuff. That's where it gets out of hand. You know.
Yeah, it's when debate had moved into about scoring points and outshouting your opponent.
Yeah.
That has become a lost art.
Yeah.
People who actually engage, listen, and respond rather than using stock gaslighting or
Hmm.
other responses. That's what's become sort of harmful to society. And
Yeah.
we kind of gotta have to call this stuff out. I have a joke right now that I'm doing that I like, but I dislike one line, but it gets a laugh where I need a laugh.
Okay.
When I talk about being, I talk about a flat earther
Hmm.
and how they were trying to say to me that when I can observe the curvature of the earth of a ship sailing over the horizon, they go, no, 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 that's the science of refraction. I'm going, you're a flat earther. You've lost the right to use the word science, which is not a good way to address flat earthers,
Mm.
right? Beyond the Curve has a great sort of subplot to, I mean, it's a documentary, but where they're actually talking to scientists and scientists, together. And there's one person towards the end of it who actually does a speech to the other scientists. Like, calling them idiots is just going to make them feel that they should stay in their camp.
Oh, right, right.
These are lost scientists, right? They have questions. They're not happy with the answers. We're not showing them how to use science, because science isn't an answer. Science is a process. It's a way of
Right.
questioning.
So this is an
And
opportunity to
this
engage
is
them, to meet them where they are.
exactly, and get them away from harmful attitudes. And that's the same thing with everything. Is flat Earth, with incels, with white nationalists. They are in that camp because they are feeling support and love and family from these people, which is driving them to be hateful and hurtful to others.
Mm.
So if we can show them that what their family has been showing them, their family has been showing them is harmful to them, and inaccurate, then we have a chance to win them over to be better people.
Sorry.
No, that just was perfectly accentuating what I was saying. So,
Exclamation point.
yeah, exclamation point being in there. It's sort of like that shudder that should go down people's spines when they go, "Oh yeah, that's right. We can't just ship them off all to an island and let them sit there." No, don't go
No,
for that.
it's true. It's just like the everything goes back to our basic wiring. I keep remembering the from grade 11 or 12 sociology class. There's this pyramid, Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Hmm.
Food, shelter, family, community, just all of these needs that humans need to require to be functional, healthy, and like you said, can be weaponized
Yeah.
sometimes.
That's this is also the idea of community, that hierarchy of needs. During the pandemic, that's why we reached out. That's why we started doing this, is because
Yeah,
we wanted to be in contact with our like community.
Hmm.
exactly.
I think that's probably a good place to wrap up. Claudia, do you
Yeah.
have a final thought?
No, 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 no.
No.
Well said.
Okay,
Yes, definitely.
just to reiterate, Don Xanklin comedy on Instagram, Claudio Capri, wrong way with Claudio, Claudio Capri comedy on Instagram. So right there, all right. I'm the link tree that you can donate. The first button is buy me a drink, but there are links to my other shows, including my Instagrams, down below, so you can always check that out. I've been Paul Ash. I've been here with the very funny Don Xanklin. Okay, I was hoping. Point the other way, Claudio. Point the other way, Claudio. The other way. The
This
other
way?
There. Yeah, that's it. Now
No.
you're pointing at Don. I was
Okay,
hoping.
there.
I was trying to. You know what? Let's try that again. It's just I will do the intro, but then I'll have you guys say your own names. All right.
All right.
My name is Paul Ash. This has been the Check-In Show. With me has been the fabulous
Claudio Capri.
and the hilarious.
Don Xanklin.
Yeah.
There we are! Yay!
Yay!
Remember, we